I'll tell you, I'm good at staying on top of things, and I'm good at figuring out when something's changing and something's different. I'm always digging on the internet, and I found something this morning that's got to do with silver and J.P. Morgan. Uh, I got my suspicions here. I want you to take a look at this chart, and I noticed something. J.P. Morgan's been acquiring silver. He's been acquiring it all along, huge quantities of silver, and what he's been doing is he's been using to keep the price low. He's been using his shorting technique of dumping paper contracts into the market and lowering the price. Then when he gets the price sufficiently lowered to where he can buy a whole bunch, then he goes out and buys a whole bunch, and the price goes up again, and then he knocks the price back down again, and he acquires it then. And he's been doing that for ages now, acquiring a massive hoard of silver. Nobody knows exactly how much he's really acquired, but it's probably the largest silver hoard on the face of the earth. And so he's not doing this for nothing. I mean, you'd have to be stupid to think that he's just gonna sell it the same price he bought for. These guys, they're as crooked as the day is long. They're crooked. They're as crooked as a snake's back after a snake's been run over by a semi. That's how crooked they are. And they don't like to just make 10% profit or 50% profit. Like, we would be happy with a 50% profit. No, these guys, they want to make hundreds of percentages of profit. And generally, every time they make a huge profit, it's not enough for them. They want to make more. This is a big score he's got going. He's got a big score going, and he plans on making a huge profit. But what would stop him from acquiring silver? Now, we're all still out here. We're all still have our silver. We can buy it. I could go down into the to the coin store and buy a coin. Right? I can still do that. He's not interested in that. He's only interested that he can supply us. Because, see, if he quits supplying all of the people out here to buy silver, that would be a shortage. He don't want that, because the jig would be up and he wouldn't get any more. And plus, he don't want the shortage until he's ready for the shortage. This is his plan. And so, what would stop him from acquiring silver? But now, this is what I noticed on this chart. If you take a look, he's going along and he's buying his usual amount. Ba-bing, da-ba-ding, ba-da-bing. Every day he buys his usual amount. And all of a sudden, come the 1st of May, he shuts off the taps. Now, I'm just suspicious. Now, you know how suspicious I am. And this makes me really suspicious. Why he shut the tap off. Why J.P. Morgan has shut the tap off. And I'm going to tell you that what I've been thinking it might be. It might be there's only enough silver left out there to supply these companies like Kitco and companies like Kitco and these different silver companies like SD Bullion and all these different companies. There might only be enough silver out there just to supply these suppliers, and there might not be any excess that he can actually buy of the physical anymore without bringing on a shortage. And maybe that's why he shut the tap off. Now, this is just a thought, and this is just a chart I seen, and I'm just being suspicious because it's only something that I've seen, and I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I really haven't got anything more than this chart, but I'm suspicious right now. I'm saying to myself, gee, this guy might be shutting the tap off to his own purchases because he doesn't want to trigger a silver shortage. He can buy so much silver, he can trigger a silver shortage. Easily, he can trigger a silver shortage. And there might just be enough physical out there right now to supply all the people who want to buy silver, for instance, right? Now, if he goes and he takes that piece of pie, like he's been doing all along, there might not be enough then to supply all these people who want to buy silver, who want to go. You might go to APMEX and they might say, well, gee, we can't acquire any 1,000-ounce bars to make our product from. So no more Mike Maloney rounds or whatever you want to buy, or no more uh, no more of these different companies that sell you silver. It might be all out. You know, if he keeps taking and dipping into the market. So maybe that's why he's shutting off the tap to his own purchases. And if that's the case, if this is real and he's really shutting off the taps to his own purchases, you know what that means? That means that we are right on the edge of going over Niagara Falls. We're right on the edge of the whole thing happening. It means that there's not enough silver left available for him to take his big cut. Yeah, there might be enough to supply us if we just want to go in and buy a coin here and a coin there, but there's not enough for him to go in and buy 1,000,000 ounces anymore. That's what it means. And if there's not enough for him to go in and buy 1,000,000 ounces anymore, it means we're down to our last 1,000,000 ounces, or maybe 2,000,000 ounces. That's what it means. And it means that he's leaving it for us to go in. And so you better, if that's my suspicion, and if it proves true, well, you know what that means. It means we're right on the cusp and see, there's another thing that leads me to conclude that I might be correct about this, and I'll tell you what it is we've been through that whole period there where silver went down below $14. I can just tell you, mining production always slumps after the fact. There's always a time delay there, maybe a year or a year and a half. Well, that time delay has went back to when it was under $14. It's about now. And this is when mining production would slump off hugely. As Trump would say, it's bigly. You know, this is when mining production would really slump off. And that would mean that that the industry would take it all. They would take it all, mostly. If mining production slumped off, like, say, 20%. And they wouldn't tell you. They would keep it all secret because they don't want there to be a huge panic of people buying into silver, because that would just exacerbate the problem, wouldn't it? Right? And what if the mining production has slumped off this year? The charts aren't in yet. We can't tell. We don't know. What if mining production has slumped off hugely, and it's just enough now, or just barely enough to supply not much more than what industry would demand? Then who's going to supply all of the people out there, all the companies, the suppliers of silver, that supply silver to everybody who wants to buy silver? Who would supply it to them? Maybe there's just enough. Maybe there's just enough to keep these companies going, like APMEX and stuff. And maybe there's not enough, and JP Morgan knows there's not enough for him to take his cut anymore without triggering it all. Maybe I'm right. Okay? Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next article. Bye.